Unfinished games have unfortunately become the norm in current year. The industry standard is to hype up a game, get everyone all titillated at the prospect of an exciting concept, and then release it in early access to the disappointment of all parties involved. At this point, we've all been swindled out of our hard-earned money by a cool idea and a sexy trailer at least once. We've all felt the excitement fade away as we gaze out over the wasteland of a content-barren game doomed to fade into obscurity. The corpse of what we were once promised decomposes before our very eyes.
You blew it! You had it all and you blew it!
Naturally, we direct our grievances through tweets, Reddit posts, and video essays towards a revolving door of studios determined never to learn their lesson. Then we move on to the next disappointment because we haven't learned our lesson either. But what happens to these games after we leave? Do they ever truly die? Well, if I'm to believe social media, these dilapidated dev teams persevere inexplicably. These games somehow continue to develop even though most of us have deleted them from our collective consciousness. But what if we didn't? What if we came back to these games? And what if we asked the question, does it still suck? If this ponderance has aroused your cerebrum in any form or fashion, then I have good news. I've decided to wade back into the putrid graveyard of decrepit filth masquerading as viable entertainment that we've all come to know and hate. So get out your Vicks Vapor Rub, slather some of that shit under your snout, and let's dive back into our first autopsy, Arma Reforger.
The autopsy is ongoing and cause of death is yet to be determined.
You guys remember Reforger, right? Right? Okay, well, for those of you who forgot, or simply never heard of it, Reforger essentially amounted to a tech demo for Bohemia Interactive's Infusion engine. Basically a way for them to square things away for Arma 4, a prospect which many of us had given up hope on. So it was a surprise when this game dropped basically out of nowhere in May of last year. I was sufficiently excited to get my hands on it, given my success with Arma 3 content at the time.
I don't want to pilot.
Say less!
Yeah, you better fucking grab another gear.
Arma with better graphics, and even the console plebs got to get in on it this time? Sign me up. Despite knowing that the game would be bereft of content, I figured modders would bridge the gap and we would quickly receive mainstays like aircraft and armored vehicles. Maybe even some drippy modern gun mods here and there.
Oh my god,
Give me a sec. I'm working on the drip!
leave it alone!
Drip is mandatory.
All that would have been fine for a community like Arma's, but unfortunately the game was plagued with a plethora of bugs and catastrophic server issues. Even if you could get into a server, it would likely kick you automatically at the end of the match, or sooner if there was an error. It didn't take long for almost everyone to leave. A few loyal chaps stuck around and kept working on mods, while others from the console crowd latched on to one of the only Milsim options on their platform. But by and large, it seems most groups like mine moved on to other games, or went back to Arma 3. So what did I find when I decided to give Reforger another shot? Well, within 6 minutes of writing this, only 94 people were playing, with a daily average of 138, according to Steam charts. That's not typically a good omen. Now obviously the first thing I wanted to check out was the mods, because in my mind, that's really the only way to play Arma. We tried joining this SFOD server, and the first issue I ran into was that the last mod in the pack kept freezing at 97%. After some mod deleting and a hard restart, that issue was resolved. We finally made it in and started putting together our kits, something which is still a fucking chore in this game. The process wasn't so bad before, but that's only because of how little equipment the game had. Now you have to cycle left or right through 20 plus pages to find your randomized equipment. The drop-down system from Arma 3 wasn't always the most intuitive, but at least it had some categorization. And if you were playing with something like Ace, the arsenal was even better. You could also save multiple loadouts, a feature which has escaped this particular title. Once we were finished LARPing my dress-up darling, we were finally able to get on mission. We dropped onto the island, rescued our friend from a helicopter crash, and met some light resistance on our way to the lighthouse. With all enemies suppressed, we called a fire mission to destroy some lightly armored vehicles. This killed the server, because apparently the host was just running things off of his computer. The fact that this was one of the only populated servers we could find, particularly with mods, is such a joke to me. The current audience doesn't feel like it's worth it to buy a server for like $5 a month. I understand that it's just a tech demo, but in order to work out the kinks in your engine, you should at least try to get people to play it. unless they have some other way of extracting data from a nearly absent concurrent player base. Anyway, we gave it one more shot with the 2nd Ranger Battalion server. Here we ran into the same issue with mods not completing their downloads, in addition to some brand new problems. The first of which was that upon joining, we were unable to move or do anything. The solution was apparently to restart the game and rejoin over and over until you were actually able to play the game. Then we had to make our loadouts again, an action which really underlined how annoying it is to be without the virtual arsenal. With that checked, we stood to and waited for the game master to unfuck himself and make a decision.
Or do you want to do something else?
No, be a leader.
Take charge, make an objective, and have us assaulted.
I would have been the man to say, don't be a bitch and just do it.
He finally spawned some vehicles for a convoy op, and we got things underway. But right when things started getting exciting, our buddy that had been trying to join made it in. So we had to go back and pick him up. The entire experience was an exercise in blue balls.
I'm tired of getting edged. I'm ready to come.
I think this feeling alludes to a deeper aspect of Arma from a conceptual standpoint. What makes Arma exciting is that it creates an idea in your mind that is bridged by way of the suspension of disbelief. With Arma 3, we know the graphics aren't that good. We know the textures on some of the mods are kind of ugly, and all of our kit is clipping together, but god damn it, we still look cool. And it feeds this Milsim fantasy that a lot of us share.
Oh my god. This is the greatest day of my fucking life. Ow! Ow! Hit! Yes! Yes, that was so awesome!
Definitely not the gayest thing I've ever done because I've been in the real military, but it was alright.
Reforger, on the other hand, is on the cusp of this phenomenon, but it just can't quite reach the finish line. There are still too many barriers stopping the flow of gameplay. It's unbelievably frustrating because I can see the spark of possibility there. I just can't quite reach it. After a time, we rejoined the convoy and fought our way through a small encampment. The entire ordeal was a mess and ended with our so-called medic executing my friend instead of healing him. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not some hard-boiled Milsim guy. I don't expect everyone to join the rank and file and end every transmission with "over." I don't create whole Google Docs to dishonorably discharge someone from my make-believe adventure club.
Dishonorably discharged. You probably barred from re-enlistment too.
Yeah, probably. Good thing I got honorably discharged from the real military.
Yeah, but you know what? That's so on brand for like these guys that have never done it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, this is just like it. Because when I fucking like joined that airsoft team, one of the kids was super horny for he wanted to be like, a fucking Green Beret or something, and he wrote this whole like it was like a manifesto.
No.
Yeah, and it's fucking so crazy, dude. I'm like, yeah, I'm just playing toy guns and trying to like play with dudes that I don't hate, you know. And but
Just want to get a little exercise, shoot people with BBs.
yeah. But dude, when you read the fucking thing, it's like in-dot phase and phase one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
But there's a mile-wide gap between something like this and a casual server in Arma 3. It was definitively not fun.
And you know what else? Screw you guys. I'm going home. Cartman! Screw you guys.
To finally answer the titular question, yes, Arma Reforger still sucks. So if you have a PC, stick to Arma 3 or another Milsim. If you're a console player, maybe give Hell Let Loose a shot, or even Insurgency. But if you really want to play Reforger, be prepared to exert immense amounts of patience. God bless you if you do, because there is still a slim chance your toils may amount to something worthwhile for the future of the Arma IP. Personally, I hope that the next time I take a look at this game, it'll give me reason to be kinder. Anyway, I want to hear your thoughts. Have you played Reforger since launch? What did you think of it? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you at the next one.
Okay, you know what I'm thinking, guys? I'm thinking we let this game breathe a little more. Like a fine wine.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we let it breathe a little more. Everyone in agreement?
Yeah.
And I pulled a pin on this grenade
Oh,
and dropped.
perfect timing for us to all get killed and right back here. What the hell?
I don't.
Alright, yeah, let's go play Arma 3.
Fuck it.